Umkhosi, Umhlanga, Zulu read dance. So let me start first with South Africa, and then we go to Swaziland. Okay, so Zulu read dance, Umkhosi, or you can say Umkhosi, Umhlanga, head at the place Emachobeni Royal Palace. See, and the second party most of the time is held at Enyokeni Royal Palace, Kwanongoma, and this is revival of the late King Godwell Zwelithini Kabekuzulu of the Zulu Kingdom in South Africa. See, and just like how if you don't know the Zulu meaning people, Amazulu are people. See, so Zulu is the tribe, but Amazulu, these are people from the heaven. They refer themselves as the people from the heaven. Yes, they are people from the sky. Now let's go straight to Swaziland. Okay, let's go to Swaziland. Now in Swaziland there is a king Mswati III. So the king currently he has a 15 wife. King Mswati decided to bless his wife with that expensive wealth. Swazi king bought for the 4 US million private jets prior buying 19 Rolls Royce for his 15 wives. Each one had to get Rolls Royce. King Mswati III of Swaziland, which is called Eswatini Republic, he bought private jet A340-340 jet costing at least $44 million US. If he does, the cost will be near 3 times the amount of the Swazi government spent last year on Edel Grant pension. In kingdom where the King Mswati rules as Sub-Saharan Africa last absolute monarch, King Mswati III of Eswatini owns 2 private jets. He got a 13.2 million private jet as his 5th birthday gift in 2018. He owns 625,000 Rolls Royce, a 500,000 Maybach 62, a BMW X6 and 20 Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman. He recently bought 19 Rolls Royce just to spoil his 15 wives. Each one had to get 1 Rolls Royce. The opposition leader and the journalist advised King Mswati not to go ahead and purchase those 19 Rolls Royce, but he refused to listen, and he went ahead and bought 19 Rolls Royce for his 15 wives. King Mswati gets a plan for 80 birthday, so he bought himself an aeroplane with a development partner that he has with King Mswati III. See, so his private jet was as a present. A plane also he was impounded in Canada again. The official aeroplane of Swaziland King Mswati III was impounded in Canada over dispute debts that he was supposed to clear. Mswati former business partner, Singaporean entrepreneur Shamunga Rathanan, had a plane detained through Canadian court in a bid to freeze the king's assets and reclaim 8 million he said the African royal owes him. The king denies owing Rathanan any money. Rathanan said he sold Mswati the McDonnell Douglas DC 987 in 2010 and then paid 6.5 million for refurbishment and refinancing it. When faced announcement the arrival of lavish outfitted jet, the Swazi public, the king's spokesman, described it as a gift. Last year, Rathanan had a plane impounded for 4 months in Canada until the king agreed to surrender 3.5 million. This time, Reuters report, Rathanan has obtained what he called worldwide freezing order from a jungle on the British Virgin Islands, where his aviation fame is registered. The plane is being held in Ontario. He was held in Ontario, where he sent the service. Back in Southern Africa, Swaziland prosecutor has charged Rothenham with misappropriating funds relating to Swazi mining venture. Rothenham has been ordered to appear in Swazi High Court by June 30. Prosecutors say the charge have nothing to do with the debt dispute. The Singaporean entrepreneur and the Swazi king weren't always at odds. Court paper revealed that Rothenham referred to the king as HMK, His Majesty and the King, and the Swazi newspaper report that Rothenham was known local as just Shen. The two fell out over the Iron One mining venture from 2011 to 2014. A dispute led to the mine's liquidation and 700 employees losing their jobs. Meanwhile, reports alleged that Eswatini plans to buy a second and major private plane. Eswatini, Africa's last absolute monarch, has a GDP of 4.4 billion, with nearly 2/3 of its 1.3 million people living below the poverty line. Now, the King of Swazi gift showcased the lure of American plane registration to foreign leader. Few years ago, Eswatini, or Swaziland, a small impoverished country in Southern Africa, announced that the King Mswati III had received an unusual general birthday present, a luxury DC-9 twin-engine aircraft. The plane featured red, yellow, blue stripes that matched the color of the Swazi flag, and it was loaded with amenities including rows of the first-class seats, fags, marble, countertops, shower and room bed. The king benefactor was clerking misery, but plane's tail number told a familiar tale about the private plane used by the foreign leader. It was registered in United States of America. A Federal Aviation Administration record showed the plane was last registered in United States as N871SG to the West Fargo. Longer leader in providing service that allow non-U.S. citizens to own U.S. registered aircraft. But Wells Fargo, which is last year announced plans to close its aviation trust business, was only servicing as a last representative of the real owner for the real owner. The arrangement called non-citizen trust can be beneficial to foreigners for a number of reasons that include tax beneficial and anonymity. As a result, foreign dignitary can often be seen tapping onto the marks of the J's of the spousal American register number. The lavish gift of N871SG to the Swazi king immediately sparked speculation and concern in the country, which had long been mirrored in the poverty, accusation of corruption, and one of the world's highest rates of poverty among other African countries and other Asian countries. It has a king with expensive state. Mswati reportedly had 15 wives, 23 children, multiple palaces, and a fleet of luxury cars. Some political opponents worried that the government funds must be used to pay for the jet. Yet, in part because of the APACU U.S. registration system that through the origin of the plane were hidden for years, it was very obscure. The true provenance of the plane became widely known only when Mswati has fallen out with a Singapore businessman, Shanmuga Rothenham, who has been given lucrative right to mine iron in Swaziland in partnership with the king. The relationship frayed out after the Iron One price plundered out and mining venture collapsed. The king just treated himself with all these luxurious presents, and the truth came out that he was corrupted. In 2015, Ruthman won court order temporarily detaining the jet in Canada, claiming Mswati owed him millions of dollars for the purchase of the DC-9. The King lawyers denied the accusation, but in the court document, both sides acknowledged that the luxury plane was not a gift, but rather a sale between their prospective companies for $11.45 million in 2010. The revelation that a king had bought the plane from Ruthman sparked question in the region. Why did the king minister claim the plane, now raised in Swaziland, was a gift? Was it corrupt transaction? And one of the South African journalists asked Ruthman whether his dealing with the king, including providing the plane, could be considered a bribe to obtain mining rights. The king saw three. He paid these millions of money for this private jet, another private jet, in his parking space. The king just treated himself with a luxurious birthday present, a mite to provide poverty for his country. The king of Swaziland, who is treated himself with this all the private stuff and an expensive car. The plane, which costs millions of money, and a lot of people live under poverty. Despite the endless warning from the International Monetary Fund about the dire state of Swaziland economy, the king's latest acquisition from the Republic of China Taiwan had dug deep into coffer of the ailing economy. The Swazi government pension for the adults team is 2.22. The pension for the elders in Umhlanga is 10 for $22 per month, and those who turn 60 adults have to wait for a little longer as they are only given their grant after a year. The money does not get backdated to the debtor when they turn to 60. When the member of parliament questioned the need for the new expensive thing that he bought, they were told that it is needed to have a certain feature that could guarantee safety for royalty and a visiting head of the state. The Airbus 340-300, which previously belonged to the China Airlines in Taiwan, was sent to Hamburg, Germany, where it was customized with the finest things in life. It is now has a space for the king and of his wife accompany him, his chief bodyguard and aides. The aircraft now look grander than private jets owned by some well-known billionaire and celebrity. It reported has a range of flights from Switzerland straight to Taiwan and other overseas countries without any stopover. According to the specification on Airbus website, the plane has a range of 7,400 nautical miles, 15,500 kilometers. Typical seat is 277 people and 63.69 meter long. McDonnell Douglas DC-9, which is the king bought back in 2012, which is now used for the shorter flights, and the government said it could be rented out to charter company so that it can be hired by affluent business people. The DC-9 was introduced to Swazi nation as a gift from development partner who did not want to be named. The new Airbus A340-300 was delivered just a few right after the other one was delivered. Before the country government jubilee, it was enabled king to fly from Swaziland to New York without any stopping. The last installment was paid before the end of the April. Just a few days before the plane was delivered to a country, a budget estimated for the year under review indicated that the royal family has been given close to millions and billions of money for the financial year. The Swazi government owes supply more than what the budget of the country is. Some of these businesses have gone under, while some have had layoff for the employees. The king announced that his country has changed its name to Kingdom Eswatini to mark 50 years since the independence from the British rule. King Mswati made the announcement at the independence celebration, which coincided with the 5th birthday. After independence, country like Rhodesia became Zimbabwe, Nyasaland became Malawi, Bechuanaland became Botswana. However, Swaziland did not change name when it gained independence until 1968, and after being British protectorate for more than 6 years. That being said, if you face sound to this platform, make sure you subscribe, share this video to a lot of people, and for more video of the Swaziland, of culture, tribes, please scroll down, watch the list of the video. Thank you so much. Follow me Instagram. Thank you. Peace.